Welcome to Gear Talk episode 3. Today, excuse my hair. With COVID, my hair's been growing out and it's becoming out of control, and have a newborn baby in the house, so I haven't had a chance to cut my hair. But yeah, today I am talking about this Canon 5D Mark III and why I'm selling it. This camera has been very special to me. This was my first full frame camera. I bought it used. I don't even remember how many years ago. But it's been my workhorse. Between this and my Canon 7D that I had before, I did a lot of family photo shoots and my first few weddings with this camera. And yeah, it's special to me in that sense, and it does what it needs to do, and technically there's nothing wrong with it. The only reason why I'm selling it is I've been keeping an eye on the used market for cameras, and a while back the 5D Mark II was still going for like $900 to $1,000, but lately I've been starting to see these 5D Mark IIIs going on the market for the low $1,000 marks. And I figured maybe this is my chance to sell it before I completely lose all value on it. Yeah, technically it still works perfectly as a camera. Whoever is buying this will get a pretty sweet deal. It still has pretty low actuations actually, because I never really used it as much for personal use, but only for paid work. But the reason I wanted to sell it is because I finally decided to go get a mirrorless camera. And the reason why only because I'm selling this is because of the video functions in this camera. It's a little bit outdated in terms of the autofocus, at least for my run and gun type of video work. I'm not doing a lot of manual focus pulling, but that's why I count on the dual pixel autofocus for little fun video projects. And this camera, in that sense, is a little bit older for that. This camera still is beautiful. It's a beast. It's my first full frame camera, and I'll definitely miss it. But yeah, I guess I've been struggling to not hold on to too much gear. In the past, I've bought and sold quite a few bodies just to try out different things and trying to figure out what I want from a camera body based on my use. With photography, that's the funny thing. It's not because I want to jump on the mirrorless camera bandwagon, but depending on what you want to use your camera for, there will be different demands and different needs for it, and things change. And I've been kind of buying used cameras and selling them and trying to try out different cameras just to figure out what I want and like from each camera. I really do like the 5D series with the dual card slots. That was one of the reasons why I didn't upgrade to the EOS R when it came out. But when the R5 and R6 came out last year, I've been keeping an eye on it, and like it seems like a logical choice. For my budget, I could only afford the R6. Technically, I think it's a stop down for megapixels compared to the Mark III, but based on its other functionality, and it has a dual card slot, it is what I was looking for in a camera, and I can use it for my paid work as well. But yeah, I think I'm really going to miss this camera. I'm trying not to be sentimental about it. I kept the first DSLR that I ever bought was the Canon Rebel T1i, and that one I can't sell because it was like the camera that I did so much photography with and learned so much with. It's a sentimental value, and that camera has no resale value or very minimal, so I decided to keep that one. But it's time to say goodbye to this Canon 5D Mark III. Yeah, so the other day I went on Canon, the store online. It was on sale, and picked up this guy. So this is my third camera that I bought brand new. The first one was T1i, and my wife approved my purchase of buying the 5D Mark IV a year and a half ago, and I decided to pick up this EOS R6 because yeah, I guess it's been always like the type of camera that I wanted to get. I was always a big fan of the 70D. I used that one for a while. I never upgraded to 80D or 90D. For video, it was fun to do, just to run and gun, shoot video around the house, and for fun video projects. And like I said, I didn't jump on the EOS R bandwagon. It has lots more megapixels, but it only had one single slot. So as a second or body for my photography, I wasn't comfortable with just running with one card slot, especially one SD card slot. Yeah, so the R6 was on sale, so I picked that one up. Compared to some of the full frame bodies like 6D Mark II, that was the same reason, was it didn't have 4K and it only had one slot. And even with the 90D, which looks amazing, the single slot and not full frame, those are the reasons why I decided to drop the extra amount of money on the R6. And it's really hard to find a brand new one, or a used one right now, because they're still fairly new. I'm gonna have to sell some of my other gear to pay for it, but yeah, I'm excited to see what it can do. Also picked up one of these EOS R adapters. Well, I don't plan to upgrade to the RF lenses yet. They cost quite a bit. I kind of played around with a shopping cart of all the RF lenses that I would want to get, and it would pretty much be a brand new car for me, which I'm driving an old Corolla right now. So I don't plan to switch all over to the RF. I will see if I have time to do a little review with the R6 and this adapter with my current EF lenses. And yeah, I'm curious to see how well everything works with my current lenses. I've tried it once with the Sigma Art 35 at the Canon road trip, and it worked pretty well from what I could see, so I'm expecting it to work pretty well with the L lenses. But yeah, this is the gear talk episode for today, and I'm excited to open this new baby up and see what it can do. And just to add, the reason why the 5D Mark IV is still my primary body for photography is it works. Pretty much the only reason why I wanted a second camera was to have a flippy screen, the articulating LCD, and the touch screen, because yeah, those are just, it adds a level of ability to shoot down low without crouching down or full out on your stomach lying on the floor. Can just do that a lot more professionally than with us, like the 5D Mark III or Mark IV. I still love the 5D Mark IV. It works perfectly. Like, it has a lot of autofocus functions that the R6 has, but the R6 have a little bit like upgraded beyond that with the autofocus and such. I'm really curious to see how well that will actually do with the L lenses. But yeah, having the flippy screen reduces the need for like a field monitor or some other things for video. So yeah, that's why for me R6 was the logical choice and the thing that was within my budget. And yeah, that's the way I went. Maybe one day I'll make enough from videography and photography to justify buying R5 and switching to the RF lenses, but for now I think it suits what I need and for my hobby and interests, without completely destroying my bank account. Gotta be reasonable at this point. Yeah, so I guess it's time to say goodbye to this camera. Well, not sure if anyone want to stay for the unboxing of this guy. I don't really get the point of unboxings actually, but in case you're so curious to see what is inside this box and how it comes in, this is what it looks like. So you got your warranty stuff, manuals. That's a pretty beefy manual. That's comparable to the R5, to the Canon 5D Mark IV. Your battery, charger, And here we are. You got your EOS R6 battery strap, or camera strap, and the camera body. That's cute. Canon R6. Shiny. Yeah. Is that all people do for unboxing videos? Well, that's it. Here's the R6 unboxed for you. And in case you haven't been able to go into a store to check out these cameras, this is how the size compares with a 5D Mark III. Yeah, it's definitely smaller. The grip is still a good amount to hold. But yeah, that is the R6. The new baby in the house.